Hey friends, what's going on? Just gonna just say what's on my mind. Might be a mix of things. Today is June 27th. It's my older sister's birthday, Stephanie. Kiwi is her on-screen name for you folks that know her and follow her. So happy birthday, Stephanie. I will speak directly to you through this because I know you watch my videos. Stephanie, as my big sister, you have really been a real foundation for me, along with our parents, grandparents, and other people older than me that I look up to. You know, you've just always been very, very honest. And when something hits you that you need to do, that you feel you need to do, you do it, and you follow through with it and accept the consequences, good and bad. And in a lot of ways, you've shown me a very good example of how to live. So happy birthday, and many, many, many more. Yesterday, the 26th, was the ruling. I got to talk about this, folks. So, once again, you can turn off now. If the only thing you want to hear about is music, you can go. I'm happy for the same-sex marriage ruling. I know that it's complicated and stuff, but the main thing I want to say about it is this, is as I've gotten older, it's become clearer and clearer to me how insane it is that other people want to dictate behavior and lifestyle to other people. We'll continually have the arguments and debates about gayness and whether it's a choice and all that stuff, and whether it's moral, and people getting really, really caught up in their religious beliefs. It's going to go on. I want to add my 2 cents because I come from that background. The one thing that became clearer and clearer to me as I stepped away from religious dogma is how so many assumptions are made by a person that holds on strongly to dogma about other people, which makes them look like asses to me. You assume, spell it out, ASSUME, to assume is to make an ass out of you and me. And this is what I mean. So, say a person who is saved has a revelation because of something wonderful that's happened to them. Well, they're just assuming that it's going to be the same for each and every person. And it isn't. That's the first one. It's a big one, you know. When something good happens to us, we want to share it with others. But to try to say that because it happened to me, it must happen to you, which is what a lot of zealots do. It's like, that's wrong. And it's also, to my mind, it lacks insight because the person is just, you know, they're just so bowled over about what's happened to them that, you know, they just want to make everybody else feel it, experience it, not really, in my opinion, thinking it through. We don't all think and feel the same way. We're using the same hardware, but not all the same software. And so it's unfair for anyone to beat up other people with their beliefs and their dogma. That's just where I stand strongly. And so I'm happy that people who are of same-sex couples have something to celebrate. I know that things are going to just really probably get uglier here legally. I have not bought any records. I'm still in a position where I've just got to watch my money. So what have I played at this? I started to play this morning, which was given to me by Derek Fisher, Methuselah. And while this is not psychedelic, this has just a nice home feel to me. It just takes me back. It is a nostalgic feel. It takes me back to a feeling of my youth. I was trying to look for the year of this, but this takes me back to my youth when I listen to the sound of the recording. I like this album quite a bit. Yesterday, I played this and played White Music by XTC, their debut album. I actually played it again this morning up until All Along the Watchtower. I don't like their cover of All Along the Watchtower. Never did. I think it stinks. But overall, this album is incredible. And what brought it to mind was on Facebook and as in a lot of social media. Yesterday there was a lot of chatter about the Supreme Court, and one of the things that kept coming up was how some particular minister said he would set himself on fire if the ruling went the way it did yesterday. And so many people were, again, saying, well, is he going to do it? It made me think of the song by XTC, I'll Set Myself on Fire, off of this. So I played that a couple times. Then I played the whole album. Just great. These guys are a big influence on me. They influenced me to start the band Digital Sex. One thing led to another, led to me listening to Sunbather by, I gotta make sure I get it right, Death Heaven. Yeah. And this again was some BCLT. I think James Laubin, I think he sent this to me. Still don't really care at all about the words. I don't care, but I am now catching the intensity of the guy's scream in relation to the music. And it's like, wow, I like this. I get it. That's a lethal voice. I like this. Roger Coleman, I caught his latest video coming back from Colorado. He showed this album. Danny Hines, what's the name of this one? Every Island. Many people will hear this and think of it as grocery shopping music or as music light. I love this album. It is so gorgeous. Guitarist in the new age sort of field. It's just wonderful. It makes me think of wide open spaces, blue skies. It makes me think of Colorado. I love this album. Very relaxed. You could even call this romantic. Some of this is romantic. It would set well in a romantic situation. Played this yesterday. Western Culture by Henry Cow. They went out with a bang. This is vital. It's not rock and roll at all. It's just... This music is like food to me. When I listen to it and I try to do other things, it always draws me into it because it's like, well, you need to pay attention here, son. We're doing something over here. Something's going down. I can't necessarily define it further than that, except that Henry Cow helps my mind. Another band that's very powerful and has created a lot of emotions in me over the years. When I first heard the band, they scared me. And when I went through a really crazy religious time, which that religious psychosis informs my position, as I stated earlier. I had to get rid of this music. I thought it was evil. Now I hear the music in a different perspective. Perspective is everything. The music is dark and powerful. Udu Udu. The Futura off this is just amazing. So you could attach connotations of evil to the sound of this music if you want to. You can. But you can also contextualize it as this is very, very powerful music. Something is moving through Christian Vander as a composer. He's playing these drums like a demon, like a maniac. Yeah, the word demon comes up. All that stuff. I pay attention to it. I don't know what's real when it comes to all that stuff. That's why I'm not going to let other people dictate their religion to me. I don't know what's real about, Satan and demons and this being the devil's music. I don't know, but I'm not letting somebody else who feels it dictate to me and say I must believe what they believe. That is bullshit. And there is just way too much suffering on this planet because of people dictating to others and trying to control people because of what they believe. Fuck that. This last week we also saw the birthday of Jeff Beck. I believe he turned 71. So I went on a big Jeff Beck jag. I put away most of the albums already, but these are still out. Emotion and Commotion from 2010, I believe, is when this came out, and I saw him on this tour for the second time I saw him. I like this album a lot. The vocal tracks are the ones I don't like. I don't listen to any of the vocal tracks. I just skip them. I want to hear Jeff play the guitar. Fantastic. I also saw him on this tour with the Jan Hammer Group. Mind-blowing. This was mind-blowing. And the the whole band. Jan Hammer, Jeff Beck, all of them. Listen to this. Listen to this too, There and Back. Really enjoyable Jeff Beck album. Really good one. I like this a lot. Of course, this one, Blow by Blow, kind of revitalized his career and took it in a whole new direction when this came out. Fantastic album to this day. Fantastic. This is not a fantastic album, but it's a collector's item to have. Beck, Bogert, and Appice live in Japan. This is one of those albums where you can tell that this is what I succumb to in Digital Sex. Too much drugs. These guys are whack on this album. They're too high to even be on stage. And as a musician, I just hear it. They're playing like absolute crap. But this is a collector's item, so I have it. And I keep it. A VC member who I don't know is around anymore. He and his wife, I've forgotten their names, but many years ago they sent this to me, and I pulled it and played it, and man, this is fantastic. Sending Letters to the Sea. He started a little fanzine as well. Can't think of the fella's name. Good, nice couple. This is ambient and rural sounding at the same time, which I love. Very spacious. Sending Letters to the Sea. And it comes in this nice package where the album comes inside of this plastic bag, you know. So I pulled this, hadn't listened to this since they gave it to me, to be honest. Wonderful album. Sending Letters to the Sea. This is wonderful. You know, it does please me that people let me know that they buy records based on what I say. And it is my understanding that Andalusia Rose and Schematics have gotten at least one sale from my review, my video, which is fantastic because, again, let the listener decide. Okay? Played this yesterday. Another VC member made sure I had a copy of this because I never owned this on vinyl, you know. Bowie, Low. David Bowie's Low. When it came out, the people he was inspired by, I had been listening to for years. And so when I first heard this, it sounded second rate. I'm going to be real straight. So I wasn't impressed. Over time and with perspective, that word I think is my word of the day, it's become clearer what David Bowie was trying to do here and got done. I like this album. Both sides. Another musician that we lost recently, Gary Quackenbush, guitarist from the band SRC, and I have their album Milestones. Now this album is not a great rock album, but there are moments where his guitar playing really stand out, and it's like, man, this guy is really good. But the album is just okay. SRC, Milestones. Blue Nile. Fantastic music. Peace at Last. A very adult type of... A lot of their songs are kind of romantic. But the sound of the music is just so, to me, subtly sophisticated and heartfelt. Very soulful. Peace at Last. For some reason, this album is hard to find, and when I looked it up on Discogs, it's going for $100. It's a great album, though. Okay. I'll leave off with a couple more here because we had Brian Wilson had a birthday recently. So I listened to Pet Sounds all the way through again. I have a German pressing, original German pressing, 1966. Back in the day, I loved the Beach Boys. Wouldn't It Be Nice? God Only Knows. Those songs, when they came on the radio, it was like heaven coming down to earth. You know, the Beach Boys were white kids who made music that made life for this black kid in racist Nebraska tolerable. Even though it would be a fantasy that I could be hanging out with these guys on the beach and stuff back then, because I couldn't back in the 60s because of racism. The music was just so full of optimism and sunshine that it saved me. So I just love the Beach Boys, and Pet Sounds is it deserves the, in my opinion, it deserves the position that it takes in rock history. This is a wonderful album. Another BC gift I got, I forget from whom, is this Romanian black metal band, Negura Bungit. Played this the other day. Really enjoyed it, you know. Has the poster. You know, I understand that there is a racist aspect to some black metal musicians, but I can't not listen to the music just because if they're not throwing it in my face, which maybe they are, but I can't understand the lyrics, I just feel the power of the music, you know what I'm saying? I am sorry that part of the deal of the world and mankind being is that we all have diversity to the point that it makes it hard to get along. That's frustrating. And at the same time, the diversity brings a lot of beauty to life, you know. We just have to keep trying to work it out.